Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Izzy Williams. How are you all doing? Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are fine. If you're new to this channel, kindly click on the subscription button. Click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Wow, what an emotional night. It's been very, 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 very emotional. Wow. Okay, so before I go into their wager tax presentation, so they had a CUDA tax, like I told you guys this afternoon, and they were divided into three teams. One team had Nengi, Laycon, Lucy, and Ozo. The other team had Tolanibaj, Dorothy, Prince, Neo, Tricky. Yeah, Dorothy, Prince, Neo, Tricky, and Tolanibaj. And the other team had it had V, it had Watoni, it had Bright, it had Kiddwaya, and it had Erica. So at the end of the day, they were made to have like a 5-minute skit talking about Kuda Bank, and also they had to like the second task was them to unravel some kind of knots, like a rope that was knots that had knots, and they had to like unravel it and all that. And at the end of the day, the third team, that is the team that has Prince, Tolanibaj, Dorothy, Neo, and Tricky, won. So I must say this week has been Tricky's week, and they got ₦1 million, which they had to share among themselves, and the rest of the housemates get to share ₦1 million. That means ₦1 million for 5 of them and ₦1 million for the other 9 of them, and which will be deposited to them in their Kuda bank account. So moving on from that, some other dramas were also happening in the house. So first of all, let's talk about the Neo and V drama. I don't know why, but it always seems as if they always fight about food. Even at some point when V came to meet Laycon and they were talking about it, Laycon was like, you guys always fight about food, and like, can't you just pick something more important to fight about? I laughed when I heard that. Even Nengi was telling Leo, you guys are always fighting about food. The other day it was okra, the other day it was what was it again? I think stew or something. Now again it's about chicken, a piece of chicken or 2 pieces of chicken. I don't even understand what is going on. And yeah, but I think after the task presentation tonight, they were able to talk about it and all that. Another ship that has capsized as I am talking to you right now is the Tolanibaj and Prince ship. Was there even a ship? It was more like a military kind of something. It was about possessing your possession by force kind of something. And I think Tolanibaj has got all the signs, because Prince, kept giving her all the signs, but I guess she was just, love is blind, I guess, so she could not see. And I finally think that this is it, because at the end of the day, they talked about it. They talked about, and Tolanibaj was like complaining about how Prince was not even like normal things that boyfriends or people that love somebody will talk about or complain about. He wouldn't even do that. And Prince was now like, okay, if you feel that way, if you feel like I'm not making you happy, and it's you that is complaining, not me, and if you feel that I'm not making you happy, maybe we should just start by being friends and see how it goes and all that. And she was like, okay, yeah, and that was it. So I feel that is actually the end of the whole Tolanibaj and Prince, and we say an amen to that. So moving on, they now had their tax presentation. Finally, Lucy got her chance to host or be the MC of the event, and boy did she do a good work. So it started with Erica. Her hero is her mom, and she also stated the fact that even though she and her mom are not close, but her mom, being a single mom, went all out to make sure that she turned out better than she is, because there's always this stereotype that like, oh, single mother, you have a girl child, she will just turn out and not be, just be wayward and all that. And her mom wanted to fight that stereotype, and she explained her picture, her painting, which was like a beach where she wants to take her mom to. She said she wants to make enough money and actually take her mom around the world, because every time she sees her mom, the woman is, taking care of her, stressing, struggling, that kind of experience. Now, like, it's a story that a lot of us can relate to, how mothers go all out and beyond for our kids. So that was Erica's story. It was quite touchy, but I admire her because I feel she's a strong person, that even despite all that, she still kind of like wears a smile on her face. And despite the fact that she feels that she and her mom don't really have a great relationship, she still sees, the hard work her mom has been doing for her. So next was Trickety. Now, Trickety got me crying, and I don't mean those silent tears. I was in tears because he showed a painting where the mom was there like shielding him and his siblings, and on one hand there is a spear, and the other hand I've forgotten what it is, and there's a basket on her head. And yeah, thinking about it now, I'm even more emotional. So he talked about the fact that he drew himself small in between his siblings. He has an older brother and a younger sister, because out of his siblings, he's the one that seems not to be doing too good. That he has done different businesses as an entrepreneur, and some of them doesn't even like work out well. And his mom has always been the one that always had his back. He talked about the fact that there was a time where the distance between where he and his siblings were living and where his mom was living was like 2 hours if you're trekking with if you're trekking by foot, and the mom will have to like trek. Yeah, the mom would have to like trek 2 hours to come and meet them, and trek back again 2 hours. How sometimes the mom have to like send recharge, because he needed money in school. The mom had to like send recharge cards and all that for him. Wow, it's really, really got me. I just pray that even when he gets out of here, that he gets all the help he needs. I pray that this big brother will be like that platform he needs to be able to achieve all those things, to buy the car he wants to buy for his mom, to do all those things that he wants to do for his mom. So I think the next person, I don't know who was the next person, but let me just be saying what they said as I go on. I might not get it like the way they came out. Then we had Bright O. Bright O also paid a tribute to his mom, how his mom has been there for him even before he came into the house, even before he went to school. Even he talked about the time where he had to use his money to play all this bet thing, about 100 and something thousand, but his mom was like the one that actually took out time to locate where he was and came out to take care of him. And he started with a song, and the coat of many colors, that song, and it was really touching. Being a guy that marks himself or marks his tears, he kind of like pulled that off. But when Trickety was talking, like almost everybody was in tears. Nengi was crying and all that. So after that, I think it was Nengi came and paid a tribute to her mom. That's her mom in that picture, Mama Flora. God bless her soul. So she came and talked about her mom, how her mom, took care of her, how her mom always made her realize that she's a queen, how her mom has this bubbly personality that will be like, oh, I want to go for Big Brother Africa, that even if she was alive, she would have auditioned for Big Brother Naija, how her mom used to call her mama. Her mom will always, make sure she always pays her school fees on time. That, there was this time in school, they always give her mom a award for being the first parent to clear out their school fees and not owing, despite not having enough. Sometimes her mom will give her 100 naira from her house to the school, and that is both for snacks, Capri Sun and all that, and transport too. So many times she'll have to like trek, and her mom will be selling recharge cards in front of the school, and she was still proud of her mom. Her mom is not just like the normal everyday mom. Her mom has this special friendship kind of relationship with her, and that is why a lot of people used to think, oh, that her mom has spoiled her and all that, but that's not the case. According to what she said, that her mom actually scolds her where there is needs to be, or where the need be. So yeah, it was emotional too. So who else talked about your mom? Anyways, let me move on. Then in came Kidwaya. His own was not any touchy story. He kind of, at some point they were like telling him, oh, you have to be careful not to be too political and everything, because he talked about how his dad flew for his 40th birthday, I think back in 2001 if I'm not mistaken, how his dad flew in 14 governors to the UK to celebrate his birthday and pissed off the then president and all that. He also talked about that his dad being generous, doing things for people without even wanting to be known. His dad was more like a kingmaker. So yeah, he talked about his dad. It's good to have money in this life. I beg, it's good to have money, because he even said that, oh, that he will even get to introduce all the housemates to his dad, because he is very sure that he will host them, because his dad is a very good host and all that. So who else talks about his dad? Oh, Neo came and talked about his dad. His dad is a lawyer, a son, that's senior advocate of Nigeria and all that. How his dad has, I think, 29 or so of them, but still has a way of running his house, even though he'll give you that kind of, see, I have plenty children, if you misbehave I wouldn't miss you, but when you're sick he'll still make out time to take care of you. He paid his tribute to his dad, and it was beautiful to watch, even though he talked and talked a lot. Yeah, Lucy also paid a tribute to her mom, her two moms. Her first mom, her biological mom, who is late, taking care of her, even though she's like this very stubborn kind of person and all that, and her second mom, taking her, I think her mom died when she was 13, if I'm not mistaken, and her second mom taking her under her wings, making sure she's gave her this industrial spirit, make sure she is responsible in life, she went to school, make sure she's not idle, and also how she imbibed this whole cleaning thing and not knowing how to be idle and all that. And yeah, so she paid a tribute to her mom. So who else? Oh, Ozo paid a tribute to his dad. See, I just want to say, I don't know if anybody knows anybody that knows Ozo's dad. You've done a great job. You've raised a fine gentleman, a man that commands respect. Ozo kept saying that how his dad pushed him, how his dad wanted him to be the best. He also talked about the fact that if he could be like 70% of a man that his dad is, then his family would not even suffer at all. Then in came Prince, and Prince talked about his dad, His Royal Highness. He also talked about, he was emotional. He talked about how his brother had to like leave for the States, and he now automatically had to be like the first son. He followed his dad to the town hall meetings. Imagine a young guy, and at some point how his dad always blesses him. I think the most emotional point for me was where he talked about the fact that his dad was sick and he was considering his dad's health. So he left, and his dad called him and was like, oh, I heard you left without, me praying for you or giving you my blessings. And he was like, here he was thinking about his dad's health, because his dad had stroke. In fact, his dad has had stroke twice. Here he was thinking about his dad's health, and here his dad was thinking about his blessings. That really, really got me. He also talked about that when his dad was sick, how, his dad was like in a vegetable state, and he was the one taking care of him, cleaning him or feeding him. That it's very hard to see a man that has this commanding presence and all of a sudden reduced to that. So he said that he doesn't, sometimes he even avoids talking to his dad, but this kind of, he actually does love him, and he doesn't know why he doesn't know how to explain how much he loves his dad. So yeah, it's very emotional, people of God. Very, very emotional. So yeah, that was Prince's tribute to his dad. Then in came Laycon, a very emotional story again. His dad, or his late dad, was a police officer. He talked about, when how he became left-handed. We Africans have this superstitious belief and all that, and how his dad was called up one day and said, oh, there is something happening here, come and rescue these people, because his dad is somebody that is like that. He's that kind of a person that if he has $1 million, he's ready to give you, and you come and say you have a problem of 950,000, he's ready to give you that. And he takes care of others at the detriment of himself. So this people called him, knowing that, oh, when we call him, he's gonna respond. So he went, and it was supposed to be like an ambush to kill him, but they wanted to cut off his head with a cutlass, but when the knife came up, he kind of like used his right hand to shield his neck, and they ended up cutting off his right hand. And when they went to the hospital, they stitched it back, and he could no longer use the right hand, so he started using the left hand, and he actually mastered how to use the left hand. And so when Laycon was born, he became a lefty, and his dad was like, why are people stopping him? In some of our cultures, it's considered a disrespect when you're using your left hand. So they were like, oh, why are you? His dad was like, why are people stopping him? Don't stop him. Since I can use my left hand, then he can too. And he also talked about his dad, not even talking about how sick he was until it was kind of too late. So even though he was angry with his dad, he just realized that he knows his dad is his hero. So after that, I think who else talked? Oh, V also talked about her mom. You know how her mom was pregnant, 8 months pregnant, traveled to the UK with no money, with no family, nobody she knows, but she still, took care of them and still went back to school, even when she has kids that was not up to, like, I think 10 years old, or yeah, and took care of them. That even though her dad came into the picture, I think after 4 years or so, but her mom, with her industrial spirit, always, after working in the supermarket and all that, took care of them, and now she is a big caterer and doing well for herself. And also, who else? Okay, Dorothy talked about her uncle, who is not even related to her. This her uncle took over the role of her dad when her dad died. It was kind of like a shocking story for her, because she and her elder sister came back from school. Like, that was the very first time they are coming back from school on their own. So they came back from school, from their boarding house, coming into the gate and seeing a lot of people gathered there, seeing her dad's picture. They don't understand what is going on. She went inside and, like, asked her mom what is going on, where is daddy? And that was when they realized, oh, their dad was gone. And the dad's brothers tried to, this whole thing with Igbo cultures. That's one bad side of Igbo culture. Not all Igbo culture, but some parts. They were like, oh, they want to come and take over the property. They wanted to shave her hair. They wanted to make her drink, the water they used to wash the cups and all that. So yeah, but the uncle came up and stopped that. He also is a chief, and he also is a lawyer, and he has several businesses he runs. He, from that day, took over the taking care of Dorothy and her siblings and her mom. And Dorothy said it was up to, like, it was not until last year that's when she realized that this man is not even related to them. This man only grew up with the dad and decided to take care of them. And she said one funny thing. He said, if you are bringing a man to me, don't bring all those boys that used to put comb in their back pocket, all these chewing gum boys. Yeah, it was very funny. So yeah, this is her paying her tribute to her dad. Who else? Whom I've not omitted? Oh, Watoni said her hero is her son. She also talked about how she came about the birth of her son, that even though she conceived her son while she was still a virgin, this kind of stories happen. It's not unbelievable. I've heard a story about girls that swim in a pool and then got pregnant and all that. It happens. So how her son, she started with that famous song, Baby Shark, yeah, that song, and it was really fun. It was emotional. She said that that's the reason she doesn't joke with her son. Sometimes she doesn't even let other people correct her son, because she just feels like she has the utmost responsibility of taking care of her son. And she also talked about the fact that was where she took on offense when Erica talked about her son and all that. So yeah, that's it. Hope I am not omitting anyone. I've talked about Trickety, I've talked about Bright O, I've talked Tolanibaj. Tolanibaj gave a tribute to her sisters. Being a creative, it's hard because she's not a lawyer, she's not an engineer. Some days she wants to be an engineer, some days she wants to be this, but her sisters always kept the light burning for her. They did not, like, judge her or anything. So yeah, she paid a tribute to her sisters. So I think that's it. I talked about Watoni, I've talked about Lucy, I've talked about Nengi, I've talked about Bright O, I've talked about Prince, I've talked about Ozo, Neo, Trickety, Dorothy, Tolanibaj, who again? Prince, Laycon. I think I've covered all the tributes they did to their heroes. It was quite an emotional one, and I actually expected it to be emotional, but Tricky T was like, made me really, really cry. Nengi too got me emotional. Prince got me very emotional. Dorothy too got me emotional. Also made me proud. Prince also made me proud. Nengi also made me proud. All of them. See, like also said at the closing remark, he said, do not use anything you hear from these people to judge them or to mock them or to say things about them, because each and every one of us, we have stories we can tell, or we have to tell, or we have stories, things that a lot of people don't know about us, things that might seem embarrassing, but it's our story and it should not be used against anybody. But on a lighter note, it seems as if we are going to be having a Kidwaya and Erica weddings very soon, because Kidwaya's dad in an interview with Dele Momodu, the founder of Ovation magazine. He actually said he's in support of the wedding. So I'll leave that clip with you guys before I go or after I sign out so you guys can see. So I am getting ready for the wedding. I don't think I'm wearing cockroach brown. I think I'm gonna do ugu leaf green, that's pumpkin leaf green, maybe a little bit of carrot orange, or maybe Nigerian flag white. No, or maybe you can add some kind of corn yellow or corn white, or maybe coconut brown, yeah. What do you think? So I think those colors are gonna make sense. They are really, really gonna make sense. Or maybe we can add last mark yellow, or maybe I don't know, suggest colors, maybe onions purple. No, I always talk about onions purple. We are not going to be using onions purple. We are going to be looking for special colors we are going to be using, for our own special ashwebi, because according to what he said there's going to be, I think, a Versace wedding in Italy and then another one here in Nigeria for the fans. So we are so looking forward to that, because we are all shareholders and stakeholders of that relationship. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you so very much, guys. Let me know what you think about all this. Which of their heroes or which of the tributes actually got you, Terry? For me, Tricky T, Tricky T got me. I just feel like Tricky T's he's been saved 3 times out of eviction, and this is his week to shine. Remember, he won 1 million. He also won another 200,000 today, and he's here to share his story. And I know he will receive all the help to make his mom proud. I know he will. Thank you so very much, guys, for being part of my channel. If you've not already subscribed, you know what to do. Kindly click on the subscription button, click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Till I come your way again, I remain your girl, Azine Williams. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Bye, guys.
Internet has frozen. Can you hear me? Yeah, internet. Forward to the coverage. The operation is warming up for coverage of Kid and his wife. I know it's going to be an international wedding. We will go all over the world.
Oh yes, of course.
Yes, there has to be at least one Versace wedding in Italy. We must go to Italy for one Versace.
I will do another one here for his fans, for his massive fans. Let them also enjoy.
Yes, for the fans. Yes, so
let them enjoy the part of the something.
That would be nice. Thank you so much, Terry, and good luck to your son. Bye.